Bam, we're live. None of those guys look like they work out. No, I don't like the start of that. Why does that have to be the first comment I see? This morning, Sevi looks like a showered Palestinian. I'll take it. I need to adjust something with my camera, though. I'm already ready for a new studio. I want to try to do a show standing up. I want to see if that affects my demeanor, my personality. You guys seen this movie, The Fall of Minneapolis, the one I showed the trailer for yesterday? You know what's cool is I showed that trailer, and it didn't even I didn't get a ding for it. A lot of times if you show a trailer, you get a ding for it, like some sort of copyright ding. It's like, hey, why are you dinging me for a copyright for something I'm trying to promote for you? Mr. Schindeldecker, good morning. I look forward to speaking with you later today. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Morning, friends. JW, Rambler, hey, always, hi. Lauren Knowles, also morning for her also. Tank Reeves just came to say, told you so. DJT is getting the shaft and the election will be either canceled or worse. Haley versus Harris. You know what I think? We'll bring this up when Greg comes on. I don't think that thing in Colorado is going to stick. And the three dissension, the dissension is from three judges who were appointed by a Democrat. So the three judges that think that Donald Trump should be on the ballot were Democrats. Hey, there hasn't even been due process for the insurrection. They're calling it insurrection, and there's no due process. Oh, thank you, Caleb. Live call-in show. Put the number up. Look at Caleb already working. Just comes in. Full speed ahead.
Adding value.
Sevan looks like an Armenian mobster in that photo. Do you know how much better? It really is true. Our shows with thumbnails do so much better.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. If Bruce Wayne makes a thumbnail, it does better. And we need to tell him, chat with him about, like, if it's Rich Froning on, my picture needs to be small, his needs to be big.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Big shirtless picture and then tiny Sevan head.
Well, yeah, tiny. Not even necessary. Just if you have one laying around.
Yeah.
I'm curious if Emily, we need an Emily thumbnail. I wonder if that would get us more views. I bet it would. Sevan looks like he has an IED strapped to him in this picture. Oh, I got a 9/11 was fun for me. That terrorist look I have. I told you guys the story. I got stopped in Miami coming in one time. Went to secondary. They were fucking convinced that I was in the Syrian army, dude. It was crazy.
Which one? Which Syrian army?
I don't know. But they're like, how many years have you spent? It wasn't even like, were you in the Syrian army? How many years were you in the Syrian army? The what army? Ma'am, I was a full-on dirt twirler. Like, ma'am, I wouldn't hurt anyone. I fucking hate cops. I hate you. I hate all military. I'm a full-blown, like,
Peace Corps guy.
Yeah, I'm Marxist. What are you talking? Black Lives Matter. I mean, what do you mean? I feel sorry for black people. I'm a liberal. Leave me alone. I'm better than you. I would never kill anyone. The only way liberals do bad shit is we gather them together and burn them in ovens. Leave me alone. God, Greg, I'm sorry. I thought Greg's. I don't. By the way, this is not a criticism. Greg always rolls in a few minutes after the show starts. But last night he was pumped. I thought he would be here like 10 minutes before me. But no. I get that a lot too. By the way, always secondary for Sevi. So many secondaries, not just like the Miami one was just really a long time. I've been in secondary for a long time in Canada and Miami, but been to secondary 20 times. One time in Egypt, I went to secondary. I went to third dairy. I stayed in the airport for 3 hours. Yeah.
Oof.
Flying into Egypt. Not fun. 20 guys. No exaggeration. 20
Egyptians
guys.
don't mess around either.
20 guys, all in suits.
Silk suits.
Is that a TV camera or a movie camera? They kept saying they wanted to know. Like,
What's the difference?
yeah, I was fucking tripping.
There's a right answer here, and I will give it. Just tell me what it is.
That was the movie Desert Runners that I was filming and directing, and that was the one where they came and got the Jew, like a week into the shoot. We were out in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and the guys in the Toyota Hiluxes came out and said, "Do you got a Jew running with you?" And everyone's like,
Wow.
And they grabbed the Jew. It's so funny. You don't even think about that shit until you have to take care of 3 Jews. You're like, yeah, so what? So some people hate Jews. So what? Some people hate some black people. So what? Because you're just a liberal.
Now your kids are gonna run through Egypt and they're gonna say, "Oh, do you have 3 little Jew boys running with you?"
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be like, "They're right
I'm gonna
there."
be like, right there, those 3. I don't think Mustafa, Muhammad, and I don't know what's the third name. Hasim better fucking have their A game on if they're gonna fucking fuck with the 3 Plain Brothers, though. It's no joke. Man, we did a little tour of Jiu-Jitsu academies. Those guys are crazy. Scaled Nation. Good morning. Athena Perez. I wonder when they're Scaled Nation. Upcoming events. March. Okay. Working with larger bodies in Hamilton, Montana. Oh, that's Missoula. Cool town, right? At Bitterroot CrossFit, March 30th. And then Nashville, Tennessee in April. Oh, 2 seminars in April. Oh, are they backwards? They're backwards on your website for April. Oh, shit. I need to send you something, don't I? For crying out loud. Sorry. I'm back home, Athena. I know I need to mail you something. Yeah, there they are. March, April, and then you can go backwards in April, too, to Tennessee. Oh, 2 in Tennessee. Oh, that's why they're backwards. They're both at the same place or same town. All right.
Wow,
Ryan,
she's in Omaha too.
Say hi to Miss Tovar for me. Make sure you take your CEO shirt.
Maybe I'll come say hi to you too.
Yeah. There's Mr. Glassman. What is Greg's thoughts about God? What are Greg's thoughts about God? What is Greg's thoughts about God?
I think you should capitalize it.
Good start.
It is.
I always do, and I'm not in the least bit religious.
Mom and dad are capitalized too, right?
I do that too, and brother and sister and kids.
Oh, brother and sister too. Kids.
I know they're special, you know.
Right. Okay.
I go German for that.
They do that. What do you mean?
Germans capitalize all nouns.
All nouns?
It's
all
the
nouns.
easiest fucking language in the world.
It's so easy.
It's so easy.
Let's see.
What do you got,
It's beautiful from that regard alone. Just as orderly as you think the Germans would make a religion. I mean, a language, excuse me.
The problem is I've just heard the dominant German speaker I've heard has always got like his hand waving around in the air and a little mustache, and he's just getting crazy.
That guy even fucked up like Mercedes-Benz and German Shepherd dogs for people.
I know, it sucks.
I had a girlfriend that couldn't get in a Mercedes or look at a German Shepherd dog. That was her.
Yeah, I've been around those people. Yeah. That's because in German, all nouns are capitalized. Yep, every person, place, and thing is capitalized. So not only do you have to remember to capitalize every sentence and proper noun, like we do in English, you have to capitalize every other thing as well. Oh, it's funny. They're trying to act like that's a bad thing in here. So not only do you have to remember.
Der Hund ist rot und die Katze ist gelb. There you go.
Have you been to Germany, Greg?
Yeah.
For seminars?
Yeah.
Something? Yeah. I went there a couple of times too. I really enjoyed it. Good people. Clean
That's
country.
nice.
Yeah. You been there too, Caleb?
Yeah, we stopped by when I came back from my deployment. Spent like
The
4 days
three
there.
German-speaking countries have a $5 trillion GDP.
What are those?
Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. And you feel every dollar of it when you cross the border. It's like someone flipped a switch. It's kind of bizarre.
I didn't even know Switzerland spoke German. I didn't even know. I don't know what I thought they spoke. What
Yeah,
else do
the streets are clean. The roads are well worked. If they ever put a road under construction, they tear it all the way down to the base layer, like all the way down to ground level, and then they rebuild it from the bottom up. So like in America, they'll just resurface it. They'll like grind down the top of the asphalt and just relay another layer of asphalt. But in Germany, they actually take the time to remake the whole thing. So you could have a road that's out of commission for like a year, but once it's done, it's perfect and you'll be able to drive on it for centuries.
There was there's this highway between Mombasa and Nairobi, the Nairobi-Mombasa highway, and they had 3 different construction countries come and make it, and I forget, it was like China, Japan, and Germany. And I remember the locals there were saying that the German road is like way, 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 way superior than what the Chinese and what the Japanese made. Just like crazy. The other 2 got potholes and need constant repairs, and the Germans just killed it.
Sevi and I were navigating the airport in Nairobi, and our terminal was closed. And we're like, why? And I go, it's on fire. It was. Terminal 1 was on fire.
It opened back up. It was all good. Hey, I think you were with me, Greg. Also, we saw a family of 4, a man, a woman, and 2 kids get on a escalator. And you could tell it was the first time they'd ever been on an escalator. Do you remember that? The father huddled them all together and they got on together in sheer terror. That was kind of cool, right? Any other thoughts on God, Greg? Besides the spelling?
I'm neutral on the whole thing, and it allows me to judge religions. Religious people shouldn't be weighing in on the Jews and the Catholics and that kind of thing. So I consider myself a referee.
Why shouldn't they?
I'm speaking mostly in jest, but
right, because they're biased they're biased.
Yeah, they got to be. You've already got a team, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you're my buddy Elliot, he's got an Ohio State Buckeyes license plate, right?
Yeah.
If I ask him his opinion on something in college football, it's going to be jaded by his Ohio State perspective.
Right.
His Buckeye lenses.
Right.
I don't like college football, so I should weigh in.
I'm guessing and I'm projecting that they're asking about your thoughts about the afterlife.
I am doing my best to get it all done here, and I'd recommend everyone do the same.
Act like you only have one shot.
Yeah, but I have no interest in being a part of taking anything from anyone.
Right.
You know, when I was a kid, I was probably a little different. I was a lot different about that. And so those sweet boys that would knock on the door and want to leave pamphlets, you know, I'd have them anywhere. Yeah, I was as good at what they did as they were. Respectfully always, but I've lost interest in that.
Hey, so first I want to say you taught me.
There's greater fish to fry in terms of writing people's epistemology.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, on net, I'm going to say that Judaism and Christianity have been good for the species.
Right, and you taught me that hey, just because you don't.
I learned it from Frederick Hayek.
And what was that?
That where he was godless, all his values were only found in Judeo-Christian countries. From women's rights to free speech to the right to assembly, all that stuff. It's the property rights. look at when we went here before. Look at the axes against the West,
Mm-hmm.
and look at the way their system of government and how their people live. We'll go from China to Russia to Iran to North Korea to Gaza.
Right.
And what do you have? Complete and total enslavement of subjugated body of people.
Right.
Their leadership has decided they're nothing but collateral damage. And the rest of us are less than that.
You could not be Christian or not, but still use their values in order to live a bountiful and fruitful life.
Yeah, my father-in-law said the other day, I believe in the 10 Commandments. And I'm like, let me go through that again. I go, yeah, I'm like fully solid on almost all of them.
Right.
They're it's kind of a demarcation of being decent or indecent.
Right. Let me pose this paradigm to you that,
and I do think they're ingrained in us, likely biologically.
Oh, you do?
Yes. Yeah, there's those Hayekian things that, while man-made, were designed by no man. Law, language, religion, currency.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
That one I can, okay, we'll come back to that.
Those could just be the next 9 also, though. Thou shalt not make unto any graven image. Well, I don't even know what that means.
This one's fucking annoying.
Okay, thank you.
Nope. Hold on. Let me get a better one. Let me get like a kid's one. Here we go.
What does that mean? You can't... Oh, thank you. God, Caleb, you're a good dude. Okay, number 1. Yes.
Awesome.
I apologize, Greg, but I apologize. You have to slum it down here with us ignorance. Love God more than anything else. Don't make anything more important than God. Always say God's name with love and respect. Honor the Lord by resting on the 7th day of the week. Love and respect your mom and dad. Never hurt anyone. Always be faithful to your husband and wife. Don't take anything that isn't yours. Always tell the truth. Be happy with what you have. Don't wish for other people's things.
Like number 6 alone determines whether you should live in a cage or not. You know what I mean? I mean, like, this is some important shit.
Yeah. Hey, there are these things in there, though, that are kind of like, don't take anything that isn't yours.
That would have helped a lot of people with the cage problem.
Yeah.
I observed in my pet rats as a kid that they understood property rights. So if I just threw something in the middle, a dominant rat was going to get it. If I gave the coveted treat to one of the submissive, less dominant rats,
yeah,
he or she could huddle in the corner and eat it, and the others would just watch and be bummed. They fucking knew it was his. I gave it to him.
Right.
Now, if I left the room, they might gang up and take it from him and eat it, right?
Right.
But dogs are the same way. Watch them. It's kind of interesting. There's a sense of, I got this, nana, what? It's mine.
Seagulls don't play that game. You throw a piece of bread up and a seagull grabs it and 17 seagulls are on his ass as he flies away, just screaming at him.
Chickens, too. It's fun to watch the one chicken that has the centipede. And you have to eat it, basically doing that running, flying thing they do. Because each time you stop, the chances of keeping it plummet.
Jake Chapman, other than faith in God, I'm a perfect Christian. It's kind of interesting because, I mean, I don't know if he's joking or not, but that's kind of the position that I was talking about. Like, yeah, try to follow the rules of the Bible, even if you don't believe in God. It will get civilization and yourself ahead in the game. It's a good rule book. A lot of good shit in there. Let me pose this to you, Greg. That somewhere inside of us there's a piece that needs to have that itched, whatever that God thing is that fulfills. But some people have filled it with other things like their TV set or what CNN tells them. Like there is but it is the same mechanism, and it is the same, like that there's an archetype to us that has to be this, I guess, food. Like we all have to eat, right? Some of us eat Skittles, some of us eat ribeye, some of us, so that somewhere as a human being, intellectually, there's something that we feel like we need to consume that fills this bucket in our brain. And some people have chosen Christianity to fill that bucket, and other people have chosen CNN, and maybe other people have chose Bayesian logic. I don't know. But
Let
do
me
you think that
circle back.
I'm onto something, or?
Yeah, I do, but I want to circle around it and
Okay.
address it.
Okay.
Man, there's damn few people I know that don't either believe in God or have the same faith at the same, other than rational, powerful vehemence for the state and its achievements. And it's just my Christian and my liberal friends. My conservative friends are largely Judeo-Christian, and my liberal friends are not. And my liberal friends still have their God. It's the fucking state.
Right. Can you give me
And
some examples of how that manifests if you have?
try amongst your liberal friends having a discussion as to the exacerbating effects of giveaways on poverty, of the reality that rent control creates slums, that being colorblind is the best way ethically and practically to deal with race relations. Try having those discussions. Try explaining that the state is a source of destruction and bad more than good. It's an inconceivable point of view to them. Absolutely, utterly inconceivable. They'll shut down. You're going to get as far as you will talking with one of our friends about you're not so sure about this Jesus guy.
Right.
Discussion's over.
Right.
You're seen as being something that's not worthy of further interaction.
Right.
And for my money, I'd rather live in the Judeo-Christian
Reality.
world than in the socialist world.
Right. Is there a third choice?
I don't know. It's libertarian kind of types, these fence sitters. We never get anything fucking together.
Right.
This is, I think, very much what a lot of Jews feel.
Which is
John Kramer's death. I don't know. There was something in it other than you know. He'd tell me you should be in temple today, and I'd say I'm not Jewish. He goes, yeah, you are, and I go, no, I'm not. He goes, yeah, but you are. And I go, I don't even believe in God. He goes, that doesn't matter either. You should still be there. And if you want to sit there and continue this, he had a pretty good argument.
Speaking of Jews, I saw this stat. I'm going to see if I can find the source for it. Okay, here we go. I just found it. You turned me on to this lady. This week's polling results published by the Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research.
Yeah, great. That's it. I'm going to do my stop reading when.
Revealed that no fewer than 82% of the residents of Gaza approved of October 7th.
Here's where I go on that. I'm going to pretend like it's not true. And that these are actually a decent oppressed people, oppressed by a dictatorial shit government, one of the shittiest on the shitty planet. It's North Korea bad in Gaza. Look, ask Amnesty International. They said they've been torturing and interrogating people in that hospital to the tunes of hundreds.
Yeah.
It's Amnesty International, for God's sakes. It's no friend of conservative causes.
Right.
Hundreds of cases of Hamas torturing people in that fucking hospital. Do you know what torture looks like in hospitals? You know how good you can do it there?
God.
That's some Soviet quality super torture when you have
You've
to
got
take
everything you would ever need.
right.
Got your scalpels and
Otherwise, they
your needles
keep
and your
passing out.
drugs.
Savvy. It's no fun.
Shoot them up with some more adrenaline, some epinephrine in there.
They're like, stop, he's going to kill him. You're like, he's far from fucking dead. We're at the hospital, you know?
How about the guy, you and I were in China when this story broke. There was a reporter who the Saudis called into the embassy in Turkey. Hey, it was a not New York, but Washington Times reporter. And they invited him over to come visit him at the Saudi embassy in Turkey.
I think he was a Post guy, but anyways.
What did I call it?
Times.
Oh, yeah, Washington Post, right. The one that's owned by Bezos.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called that dude in. And the night before, 2 G5s with a bunch of Saudis came in, and they got this guy inside the embassy, and they chopped him up into little pieces and put him in bags. And the whole thing is like recorded, the audio recordings of it.
Yes, the guy working at Bone Saw was singing
with earplugs in and shit.
Yeah. Like what kind of song do you sing as you're dissecting someone for easy transport? Probably a religious song,
right?
Something you learned in church, right?
Mohammed is great. Jedediah Snelson, I've had a time where God wasn't a part of my life, and a part of my life has been led by faith through my experience. Despite being paralyzed, life has been incrementally better with God and faith. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's, I think that's part of the topic here, right? That people's life, this civilization is better than others, and it's fantastic for the civilization to have a bunch of people who are following the law of God, right?
Look, I can go here. If there's a God, I know he loves me.
Right? Why? Because your wife's hot?
Yeah,
because your kids are healthy.
Like, what do I have? I have my health. I've got.
Yeah. If you lose it,
kids, I've got more money than I'm going to be able to spend in this lifetime. I mean,
you have enough money to where if you lose a remote, you can just order another one on Amazon.
That's it. Get 5.
Yeah.
Until they quit disappearing. And don't even complain about it. Right. Just go on to Amazon.
Yeah. No kids get
spammed. My orders and look and put in remote, and there they are. Get 5 more.
Right.
And then at the point where they're in every drawer you look in, you're good.
That TV in your main room in your Arizona house, the one that looks out at the pool, that giant TV, does that remote have a place where it lives? Like that remote has to be there for that TV?
Yeah, I was hiding it in the barbecue for a while.
Oh, you were hiding it?
Yeah. See, here's my thing. I think.
By the way, just so you know, Greg has more kids than ants on his property. That's why you gotta do shit like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
each kid put it on the grate and the grill.
Each kid has 2 to 3 friends over, and he has 9 kids. It's a preschool.
And I'm old school. Like, I think the remote should be in the room where the TV is.
Weird.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
I'm like, hey, where's the fucking remote? And it was like, there's no telling. I'm like, why is that even a possibility?
It's not even in the couch cushions.
So you don't. So that's so there is a spot. Is there a spot besides the spot where you hide it? Like, is it like, hey, when you're done, set it on this coffee table? Like, we got a spot for our remote.
It's even gotten better than that. I've got the home team using the native universal remote that comes Sony, which is mostly what we have. We have some LGs too, but I have them using that remote. And then I got a DirecTV streaming account, and I have these little remotes. And so we basically come in at the thing from completely different. I'm coming in through the net, and they're coming in through Chromecast.
Wow.
Or whatever the fuck it is. And so we don't even interface the same.
Yeah, I like that. I get it.
We don't work on the same interface with the television.
Yeah.
And so
Recently, go
they
ahead.
can do all kinds of stuff, load up apps, download stuff.
Yeah, that's good. I don't think. Oh, this is. I don't think you have a favorite thing. Greg, what's your favorite thing to watch on TV? You don't really watch TV, do you? I mean,
No,
besides just some news.
Yeah, I'll leave either Fox or CNN on just in the background, like Newsac. But in terms of watching stuff, the YouTubing of things for the kids in their homeschooling has been a wonderful experience for me. Again,
But I don't.
or diagramming sentences. What a great entree to that is available from YouTube. When Google came to us and told us they had the number 1 and number 2 biggest search engines in the world, most popular search engines in the world, we all drew a blank. And everyone knows of Google, but what's number 2? Well, it was YouTube. And they said that was the dominant search engine used by the favorite search engine of people under 25. And I found that inconceivable that someone would use fucking YouTube as a search engine. So I went home that night, committed to demonstrating for myself what a weak search engine it was. And it only took about 20, 30 minutes to discover quite the contrary, that it was really fucking good. In almost any subject field that I could search, more than a few people had put out videos on that topic. And that ranged all the way from the Nikamat massacre at the Nairobi Mall where we had been, which had happened the day before, so I can date this inquiry, all the way to things like equal protection clause of the Constitution. You find, or learning to read music, that there's just some brilliant work done across a whole range of production qualities and efforts. And it's great. So I'm a YouTube guy.
Heidi Krim, YouTube Kids is trash. I agree 100%. What a fucking disaster.
I have the app icon and I've never looked at it, but as soon as I hear those voices and see that palette of colors, I'm pretty much gone.
It's not something you want your kids watching. I'll tell you that. Bentonite clay. I've taken a huge fascination with bentonite clay, and I've just been hanging out on YouTube, just listening, just everywhere I drive, just listening to people talk about it. Its properties, its value, what you can use it for, where it's found, should you be building houses on it? Is it good for putting in your mouth? Just everything. Yeah. Everyone and their mom has an opinion on it. It's so good. That guy right there, go down a little bit. That guy right there, that one was fascinating. I had no idea. I wasn't even looking for that, but he's talking about building houses on it. Volcanic ash. Do you know much about bentonite clay, Greg?
No. What little I think I may have known, I think I forgot.
I don't really
understand. It all sounds familiar.
I'm going to say something and you're probably going to understand it better than I'm saying it, but basically it has some property that when it gets wet, it has a charge 400 times greater than its own weight, meaning it starts drawing things to it. It's some sort of what's that called? There's a word for
magnetic.
It's not magnetic. There's another word they keep using over and over, but it just pulls shit out. So you put it on your face and it supposedly pulls stuff off, or when you eat it, it attracts metals to it and pulls them out. It's like some sort of special property.
I'd go to separate the hype from the bullshit. For me, I would Google search industrial uses of bentonite. And I would look for chemical engineers in its possession in large quantities and assume from there that that's real.
Yeah, you're right. As opposed to academics or people who have like astrology posters up in their office.
A guy making YouTube videos.
Right. That's the word right there, Dale King. Adsorption as opposed to absorption. Adsorption. Yeah. People swear by this shit. People love this stuff. Bentonite used as a suspending agent Viscosifier, binding and emulsion stabilizer for cosmetic, pharmaceuticals, and personal care products, suitable for use in all organic natural products. This mineral is specifically processed to control both purity and performance. Boy, I really like that word, viscosify.
Yeah, it's the cornstarch of cosmetics.
Viscosifier. Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I like that.
A relatively inert thickener.
Yeah. Charcoal.
The last one you had there, Sebi, why is bentonite added to cement? That it might be something I've seen before.
Yeah, it's in this tooth powder that I've been using. So I've just been kind of gotten obsessed with it. Man, I really like tooth powder. Holy cow, I'm obsessed with it.
And you've only tried the one.
Right.
You got to try some others.
I tried the one that I like it because it only has 4 ingredients. I know I do need to try some.
One with 1 ingredient.
Yeah. Like just try baking soda.
Yeah, for instance.
Right, yeah.
And if that's 90% of it, then your thing is it's the baking powder because it's clearly a better cleaner.
Oh,
for instance, there's you're not going to beat Ajax, Comet, those kind of things in a sink cleaner.
Right.
And it's because of the grit, right?
Oh, you think that's what's happening? I'm just scraping enamel off layers of enamel off my teeth.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, good.
No, layers of other shit.
Plaque.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's eggshells in mine too.
There you go. Calcium carbonate. You're getting close to the sodium bicarb, right? I mean,
yeah, there you go. Dildo. Hi, nice to see you. Good morning. Mr. Dill, today's my last day at work until January 2nd, 2024. Greg's live on the podcast. My inbox is basically empty. I'm levitating from a mix of Dr. Pepper, Zen, and ecstasy in my office. Ecstasy? Really? You took ecstasy? Or just ecstasy in your office?
What a great last day of work.
Yeah. God, Dr. Pepper's so good. So zen. You're really indulging. You need to stand.
What's zen?
It's the chewing tobacco.
It's nicotine without the tobacco.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson's pushing it like crazy.
Maggie likes the Diet Dr. Pepper.
God, Dr. Pepper's so good.
That's a pretty good fuck you at work, though, right? Just imagine sitting at your desk. Don't even turn the computer on.
Just
that's your Dr. Pepper, your Zen going, and
you're high on nicotine. Listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
With your hand in your pocket.
And when it's done, before on your way out to the car, you can tell everyone what you really think of them.
No, he's got to come back on January 2nd.
Oh, not last day of work.
Yeah. What does Greg use? This is very personal, Wad Zombie. I don't know if $4.99 will. Greg, do you use a bidet?
Yeah, if it's there, we got it in. We got the Toto going, the Kid Rock one in Santa Cruz.
You think you've gotten what's the Kid Rock one?
It's the good one.
Kid
Rock said the two things that Howard Stern asked him, what was the advantage of being a rock star? And he said it was his Toto toilet and the jet. Easy.
Oh, wow. Crazy. See, I one of your houses, I don't like plastic toilets. It's a $5,000 toilet and it's got like plastic parts. I can't stand that.
You know what? It's never needed a service call in a decade of operation.
All right.
And the toilet that I pulled out of my bathroom, it's been there for like 70 years and it would still flush.
It's a Toto?
No, it's not a Toto.
Oh. I will say this is probably irresponsible for me to reveal this about Greg, but Greg's life is so good that he has a urinal in his bathroom. So he doesn't he doesn't even have to like.
Hey, what that does for the cleanliness of a bathroom is unbelievable. You get a urinal and you quickly come to realize that men are disgusting pigs.
If you didn't know already, if you didn't
the urinal will teach you that.
Maybe I'll install a urinal then.
Why? What do you mean by that?
The urinal was invented to contain the splash of male urine.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
all those swisher, those different things that are sit down there in the bowl that you pee on.
Yeah, like the one with the fly on it and shit.
Yeah.
That's for aiming. That's all to get you to work the center and get it caught in those combs to stop the splash out. An experiment needs to be done. Someone needs to fill the toilet with a red dye.
Uh-huh.
And then someone needs to come up and just horse piss into that water.
Horse.
I'm going to tell you that the splash on the floor and on the seat is going to be red.
Red dye.
That you're blowing water out of the toilet back and pee. But that's the dynamics of peeing, even at my height, into a body of water. You're making a mess. And I'm not going to do the German Sitzgepissen either.
Sitzgepissen.
Yeah.
Is that what German men do? You think that they all sit down?
Yeah. You're supposed to Sitzgepissen. It's the polite thing to do.
Hey, dude, there's got to be a video on YouTube. I put in a red dye toilet experiment, but it's all about leaking toilets. But red dye toilet piss experiment. I'll put piss.
I only come on here and offer shit that hasn't been done before, Sevi.
Oh.
He used the world's greatest search engine to figure out if that was out there, and he couldn't find it. So
I think I found. Oh, wow.
Here we go. UV light. Here we go.
Yeah. Bring that up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Lauren Knowles. Wow. Thank you. Holy cow. You know this lady, Greg. She's been to the DDC with her husband.
Yeah, the name sounds very familiar. And Lauren, I went to school years and years and years ago in the San Fernando Valley with the Janet Knowles.
Sorry, Caleb. I had to pull that off just for a second, so we're not looking at urine and talking.
All right.
Merry Christmas, Sevan, Greg, Caleb, and the spirit of Matthew. Souza, I'm so grateful for the weekly conversations with Coach, the inspiration to start homeschooling my kids this year, and of course, all things CrossFit, past, present, future. Keep fighting the good fight. And you're standing in front of a sign that says "Bangers," a sausage and beer. I like all that. Thank you. That's a very, very sweet and generous donation. Buy me 2 cups of coffee here in Santa Cruz. That's cool. Hold on, one more thing. I listen every day, just not usually live. Well, cool. Good to have you this morning. Ever had a shit in a urinal? Well, that's a little much. Okay, let's go back to the black light. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Okay, here. What you see? Okay. Oh, wait, pause. So listen, people, the way that toilet paper stacked next to the toilet, that's just idiocy. Like every guy sees that and knows that like you're just wiping your ass with everyone's piss that goes in there. Okay.
My kids would try and pee in the hole in the top.
That's good. I think that's a healthy reaction. I mean, that is just who comes up with this shit?
A chick.
It's fucking crazy. Okay, here we go.
This is there you go.
Not as bad as I thought. We do need red dye, though. Oh, okay. We're going to go with some close-up shots. Uh-oh.
See, my contention is not only are you getting piss back up there, but toilet water.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
A foot away.
14 inches away. Oh, this is cooler than I thought. Okay.
See, I knew this to be true. The urinal will take most of the piss off the wall.
Dozens of aiming variations were used to reduce splash prevention. That's what you were talking about, like trying to get people to aim at different targets. Oh, is this a simultaneous? Wow.
This is science.
Yeah, this is science. We're in the observation phase. Yeah, so you have just hundreds of people urinating in your toilet, and What we learned. Okay, yeah, great. Here we
Send
go.
this to me, Sevi.
Okay, 29% of men usually aim directly into the water. Only 20. Oh, in our test, this produced large droplets that mostly stayed within the bowl with minimal spray onto the rear rim of the bowl, underside of the toilet seat lid, and nearby wall. Okay, so large. If you shoot right into the water, you get large droplets, but that mostly stay within the bowl with minimal spray.
That intuits well.
Yeah.
There's the greatest opportunity for absorption in the water mass that's in the bowl.
Only 2% usually aim at the near side of the bowl in front of the water. Oh, what are the effects of that? I wonder if that has to do with the fact if you have just poor pressure.
That's what I'm thinking. Weak stream.
The pee flowed over and around the bowl instead of bouncing off of it. The least splashback. So if you have a dude with a small dick and not a lot of pressure, you probably have the least filth.
Height's going to be a factor too.
For sure. My son walked up to a urinal the other day. I'm like, that's too high. He's like, no, I can do it. He wanted to rest his penis on the edge. I'm like, don't ever let your penis touch a fucking urinal. Hey, that's gay, by the way. Not that I have any problem with being gay, but if your penis touches the urinal, even on accident, you just chalk it up. You're gay. You had a gay experience. Wow. Oh, that's if you hit the back.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Jeez.
Whoa.
That's your Texaco not giving a fuck.
Like you have a beer in one hand.
Yeah, right.
You're adding pressure to it from the top.
Oh, wow. Here you go. Accumulation over days.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right, I'm getting sick. Hey. Yeah. Oh, another stupid place for the toilet paper.
Man. Let's pivot slightly. Tony Martorano. Mr. Glassman, Greg, dearest Greg. My gym is closing, and I'm moving to another affiliate to work towards being a coach there. Any tips to build trust with those athletes over there? I'm going to start just as an athlete first.
No, Tony, just be yourself, man.
Immediately start talking to them about God.
Start heavy with that?
Yeah, just lean in. Blade Walker, your local officer, when y'all got morning wood, do you sit and pee or do you leaning tower? Leaning tower.
Leaning tower.
Leaning tower. It's less a factor in the urinal, though. I'll just be frank.
That's true.
How would you sit? Mine wouldn't clear mine would just keep hitting the lid. I would be like moving it to the left and right, trying to figure out how I'm going to get it around. It's no good. Sit. What's wrong with you? Thought you were a black dude.
You have to sit and do the leaning tower.
That better be that better be a trick question. Wow. Oh, this is interesting. Jay Hartle, the Armenian. Germans started peeing sitting down after World War II. Oh.
Checks out.
Yeah, it makes sense. I believe that.
Okay. Did you see this thing? This clip going around. I haven't looked much into it. With Elon Musk, SpaceX is getting in trouble for not hiring enough non-Americans. Did you see this? They're being sued by the Department of Justice.
Of course they are. Elon urinated. I'll tie it back into what we were just talking about. Elon urinated on their censorship scheme with Twitter.
He bought one of their the government's megaphone.
He exposed it. He exposed it for the bullshit that was going on. Using private industry to abridge your First Amendment rights.
You know what Elon said? Hey, I don't want to be hired. There's a lot of sensitive information there. I've hired a massively diverse group of people, just not non-Americans. I just want to hire Americans.
He's so focused on the task at hand. There's probably very few people in government that can even begin to understand the level of organization or capacity he has for achievement. This has nothing to do with anything other than him exposing their abridging of our rights.
Yeah. I watched him.
By the way, the shitty Elon stories came commensurate with his purchase and exposure. They turn on like wild dogs.
Like they did on Trump. The left used to love Trump and then ran for president and they hate him.
And Bezos.
Oh, Bezos loved him and then turned on him?
Did you hear? No, Bezos, he's getting shitty press now too. Did you see Bezos talking about 1 trillion people living in the universe?
No.
Oh, yeah. He did, yeah. He said that people are going to live in like satellites, like International Space Station type.
He's actually excited. He's sputtering a little bit with enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And it makes him come off like he's just utterly mad, just completely out of his fucking mind. But what's kind of cool about that is I think that has to be true to some degree to have the achievements of a Bezos or of a
Musk, like just completely grandiose ideas. You're saying, super dreamer.
The kid comes here from South Africa and ends up building the world's most valuable car company and is the dominant player in space exploration. What are the odds of that?
Oh, Bezos was on Lex Friedman. Jeez.
Yeah, this is the clip.
Okay, let's hear it.
See if it'll
stars. And think
you can't hear that. Can you?
Big. What do you hope is the future of humanity? Hundreds, thousands of years from now, out in space.
I would love to see 1 trillion humans living in the solar system. If we had 1 trillion humans, we would have at any given time 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins. That would, our solar system would be full of life and intelligence and energy. And we can easily support a civilization that large with all of the resources in the solar system.
So what do you think that looks like? Giant space stations?
Yeah, the only way to get to that vision is with giant space stations. The planetary surfaces are just way too small. We will take materials from the moon and from near Earth objects and from the asteroid belt, and we'll build giant O'Neill style colonies, and people will live in those. And they have a lot of advantages over planetary surfaces. You can spin them to get normal Earth gravity. You can put them where you want them. I think most people are going to want to live near Earth so they can move quickly back and forth between their station and Earth. So I think a lot of people, especially in the early stages, are not going to want to give up Earth altogether.
They go to Earth for vacation.
Yeah. And people get to choose whether they live on Earth or whether they live in space, but they'll be able to use much more energy and much more material resource in space than they would be able to use on Earth.
One of the interesting ideas you had is to move the heavy industry away from Earth. So people sometimes have this idea that somehow space exploration is in conflict with the celebration of the planet Earth, that we should focus on preserving Earth. And basically your idea is that space travel and space exploration is a way to preserve Earth.
Exactly. This planet, we've sent robotic probes to all the planets. We know that this is the good one.
Yeah.
Earth really is the good planet. It's it's amazing. The ecosystem we have here, all of the life and the lush the plant life and the water resources, everything. This planet is really extraordinary. And of course, we evolved on this planet. So of course it's perfect for us, but it's also perfect for all the advanced life forms on this planet, all the animals and so on. And so this is a gem. We do need to take care of it. And as we enter the Anthropocene, as we humans have gotten so sophisticated and large and impactful, as we stride across this planet, we want to use a lot of energy per capita. We've gotten amazing things. We don't want to go backwards. If you think about the good old days, they're mostly an illusion. Like in almost every way, life is better for almost everyone today than it was, say, 50 years ago or 100 years ago.
What's crazy is this guy does support the good old days. This guy has been a complete break through the Washington Post. The shit he's done has sent humanity fucking 100 years back. Is he not smart? I wonder what his deal is. I need to listen. That's the first time I've ever heard him speak.
Ooh,
Is he on something?
yeah, I could listen to him for hours, but it's a train wreck kind of deal. I've had all those thoughts. For once, I like, oh, this is why we don't hear more from him.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay,
I mean, he almost needs to be shepherd's hooked off the stage here, right?
yeah.
Jeff, it's time for your nap. Jesus Christ.
Is he gonna be the next Virgin Airlines kind of guy?
What I'm gonna give him the credit he's due. He's an incredible visionary. He's seemingly single-handedly destroyed retail with retail's bizarre cooperation. Every time just about every retail experience I have, it seems like the people in the retail environment are committed to making Bezos wealthy.
You just because they're so shitty.
I'll go home and go to Amazon.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
But that suggests nothing about him having any sense of the future. That doesn't make it. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So I wouldn't ask Bezos or Musk what I should get my 10-year-old daughter for her birthday party, and think that I'm going to get anything that's, I don't see him on that level.
There was
He's
a good
weighing in on what life's going to be like in 1,000 years. It's like I'm going to pull a cheek muscle laughing at the fucking guy. If you really believe that, you're fucking delusional. The thing that you see the future in space stations. Doesn't he know that was a movie and we all saw it?
There would be some epic crashes.
Remember? Oh yeah.
You don't think that you don't think we end up going to space, Greg?
We're gonna be very fortunate to maintain our current standard of living, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I think this civilization is in decline.
Oh, okay. He is on TRT. Is that what's going on? Something's going on with his face. TRT Bernie.
There have been many times in history where it seemed reasonable to presume the perfecting of civilization, culture, and I'm sure the Greeks had moments of what felt like justified confidence. I'm sure the Romans did, and I know we have and did, and some do. It was Leif Edmondson that said 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, that we were 5 years away from burning witches. And I checked in with him last year, and he's like, "Yeah, we're right on schedule."
Who would have thought 10 years ago we'd be living 1984, and here we are. Hey, you think you think that all the trainers are going to end up under licensure, right?
Yes, I do. And I thought when Jeff Kane said that the independence of the CrossFit trainer, this was on the NSCA settlement.
Yeah.
He sent me a long, typical Jeff Kane missive of thousands of words and dozen pages. But the powerful part was he said that they wouldn't last 5 years now. That basically what was signed away was to put them into receivership of NSCA and the ACSM.
The same way I can't have people come over to my house and charge them $50 a pop to braid their hair unless I go through 2 years of school that's licensed by the state and pay the yearly fees, blah, 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 start a business and all that. You think that every CrossFit trainer in the United States in the near future will be taking a test that some fucking idiot at the Food and Drug Administration makes you pass, that says you can't squat below parallel and you can't tell people not to stay away from refined carbohydrates and to give me $100?
It took my efforts and 4 or 5 employees the Podesta organization in its heyday, and millions of dollars to stop in one location one of 30 or 40 licensure attempts. And it's such a rare thing, such an unusual occurrence, that it made the Wall Street Journal page 2. That CrossFit had come of age and it actually stopped, repealed occupational licensure. And that in 40 something years, this has only happened 5 or 6 times. And in 3 or 4 of those, it was later failed, as this one will too. This reversal will be undone. No one's got the money or interest to stop it this time.
Anti-licensing movement scores a victory.
I don't know that the current ownership isn't sponsors of this.
United States News, CrossFit exercises lobbying clout and beating back District of Columbia bid to regulate trainers. November 13th, 2015. I remember going there to DC with you and sitting through those meetings. Tom Brose, co-owner of CrossFit DC, says the people trying to push fitness trainers licensing are doing it to support the rapidly diminishing place in the market. Well, it's worse than that, Mr. Brose, right? Keep going. Caleb.
Yeah, Tom Brose, he's a good dude.
I think you have to have a subscription. So,
Okay.
You still don't have a subscription, Sev? You do that on my card.
Okay. Merry Christmas, Caleb. Greg just brought you a Christmas present. Pretend it came from me.
Yeah, Caleb.
thanks.
We're almost like a real podcast now. Jesus Christ, this is crazy.
We got a special offer. It's only $1 a week.
So that's coming. How's that going to affect I want to talk about Trump today and what happened in Colorado, but before we do, I want to hammer this a little more. How do you think that affects the big picture? Put on your Jeff Bezos future, looking into the future.
It's not that hard nor far away, and you don't have to leave the galaxy.
Okay.
What's going to happen is just exactly as promised. Nutrition, amongst other things, is going to be outside of the ken of the trainer, so that you'll lose your license by saying something like, "You should try this carnivore diet," or "Statins are no good for you." By the way, Emily just pushed something across my desk that was potentially compelling evidence for statins causing heart disease, congestive heart failure.
Oh, geez.
I know. It's like, well, of course. That's just rich. Also, carb-restricted diets have been demonstrated to improve glucose uptake in Alzheimer's disease patients.
With the net effect being what? Slowing down the disease?
I think it's too late to say something that powerful, but it certainly needs looking into. And what they saw was that areas that weren't receiving glucose or ketones, I believe, and were presumed to be dysregulated, dysfunctional, dead, dark tissue after restricted carbohydrate diet, those sections were alive and taking up glucose, and I forget what the other contrast media was.
So you're not saying you're saying fasting. You have to stop eating.
No, I'm saying that it may be that running on ketones helps with the dementia.
Yeah.
Of Alzheimer's.
Well, as long as I've known you, you've thought that sugar basically caramelized the brain, and you were calling it type 3 diabetes from the day I met you.
The problem in the pathophysiology, the histology, is you've got these these advanced glycated end products, and you just don't have to been around much rodeo to recognize glycation as that covalent bonding of sugar to proteins. And I know exactly how to caramelize your fucking every cell in your body, and you do that with sugar. The key to glycation is high blood sugar.
And these are the things that you won't be allowed to talk about with your patients.
They'll take that shit right off YouTube, as they're probably likely to now if the people were smart enough to know what they heard. I just sent a referral to some work of Dr. Seyfried's and came with a warning from YouTube. from Gmail. I shared that with you.
Oh yeah, showing. Yeah. They're reading your emails. That's
Yeah, this might be
crazy.
dangerous material. And the person
That's
I sent it,
crazy.
she said she didn't get it and she found it in her spam box.
Gmail's reading your emails. That was fascinating. Of course, they're reading your emails.
Of course they are.
I was on a podcast 2.5 years ago, Coffee Pods and Wads, and there was a segment I said at like the 22-minute mark that YouTube last week sent a note to the guy who hosts the podcast on YouTube, and they said, "Hey, we pulled down this podcast because of what was said on your podcast at the 22-minute mark." So I went back to the 22-minute mark and on Spotify and I listened to it, and all I was doing was repeating what I found on the CDC website, that you never deploy a vaccine in the middle of a pandemic. It's never been done, and everyone knows that it will exacerbate the spread of the virus. It'll exacerbate the speed of the mutations, and that it's never been done. And yet we did it during COVID. They deployed a vaccine during an actual pandemic, and that was not what was done with polio or the measles. They had significantly subsided before the deployment of the vaccines. And they said, and it got pulled down because I said that, even though I was reading it straight off the website for the CDC. Pulled down off of YouTube, saying that it was dangerous information.
Did you see we may have gotten another one too?
Oh, us?
Yeah.
Oh, where's that shit?
Dude, I would treat YouTube like I would the corner I'm sitting on with my food cart.
Sooner or later, the police are going to come and tell you to move.
Yep.
Hey, when did we get that, Caleb? Is that today we got it?
4:58 a.m.
Oh, so someone is culling the herd right now. Holy shit. So someone's going through all the shit where I am and and reporting me. Where would I find that? I don't see it in our
It's in YouTube Studio.
I'm in the studio. Do I go to dashboard?
Yep. It was a
community guidelines?
long time ago. Episode 198. So like almost probably 2 years ago.
Wow. Okay. So thank you. So this came in this morning at 4:58. Your content, Sevan Matosian, the Sevan Podcast 198 live call-in show was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. We realize you may not know this was a
Let me see if I can get that whole
Community guidelines.
Hey, I lost my account because it said Instagram's technology has deemed your post inappropriate. The technology, not even a person. I can't even read the whole thing. We realize you may not have known this was a violation, so you did not get a strike. And it wants to know if I want to disagree with it, but how do I know what to disagree with when I don't even know what I've been in trouble for?
Yeah, you can't even go back and look at the show.
If you disagree, appeal here. Channel not affected, visibility removed. The next two steps will ask you to take a look at your content and the policy. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll go back. I'll look at the review. I'll do this later. Crazy. Maybe I should screen record this.
For sure.
Nuts. Okay, so it's happening. So someone's going through our shit manually. That's 1,300 episodes ago. Someone's going through my shows and watching them and looking to report shit.
What makes you think it's not being done AI wise?
By a bot? Well, it's just interesting that they chose one that it happened over on this guy Pedro's account, Coffee Pods and Wads, and it was me. And then now it's happening on my account a week later. I guess I don't know. Just my arrogance seeping through that it's me.
I think I could build algorithms for them that pull down the kind of shit they want pulled down. Like, look, what came across in my email? Like, I would think you'd be flagging for Seafried, cancer, and hope.
Right.
Here's a guy with some hope on an alternative cancer therapy. This is dangerous.
Right. I'm getting more, and I've been limited to how often I can post on Instagram too. So like I get to make 5 comments a day, and then they say to protect me and the community, I can't post again for today.
Our Orwellian doublespeak has got us to a point where self-defense is now genocide.
Wow. Self-defense is genocide. How many lawyers does CrossFit HQ actually currently staff compared to the peak of these fights?
Oh, not 5%. Let me share this with you. I think we have had in our employ at one time, on the line, 15, 16 law firms. Certainly all of the nation's biggest. And so when people go to sue Russ Green or I, they're really disappointed in what's available to use because we've been clients with all of the big firms.
Brilliant.
I mean, look, I got lawyers doing embarrassing things on TV that I know.
Recently?
Yeah, you and I know an attorney that has represented me, represented us, that is currently in the news. Don't say anything. It'll get right back to her.
Oh, I thought it was the gay guys having sex in that room 716 in the Capitol building. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Dude, how crazy is this administration? By the way, I can't wait to talk to you after the show now. How crazy is this administration? They had the cross-dressing gay guy who was in charge of nuclear secrets who was stealing luggage. We have the admiral of American Health or whatever that's a man masquerading as a woman who was putting elderly into nursing homes in Pennsylvania, getting them killed during COVID while she pulled her own mom out. We have the two dudes. Have you seen the footage of it? The two dudes, the guys who are basically, it's so crazy, dude. They say two gay guys having sex. And I'm just thinking, I don't even know what that is. But they were in some room, like high-level security room at the Capitol building, and now the footage is released. And I saw one dude naked, doggy style, on a table.
So only one guy got fired. What happened to the other guy?
They didn't see his face. They'd have to just get everyone.
Remember when the village in Kenya told us that they had beheaded a dude for homosexuality?
Yes, that was great.
And I was like, wait a minute, only one dude?
Yeah.
Should that happen at least in pairs?
That was a great comment on your part. What the fuck? The other guy didn't like it.
That was sketchy.
What kind of insane society does that? Anyway, then we have the cocaine found in the White House. We have the son with a laptop full of just all sorts of sex photos. We got the diary of the daughter who says she didn't like showering with the president. So she would shower, wait till her dad went to bed at night so he wouldn't come in the shower with her. I mean, just some fucking. This is some bizarre administration shit.
The shower thing was found in a diary, and O'Keefe had the diary, and the government was saying that it's not real. Then he was arrested for stealing it.
You stole the fake diary.
Yeah, he stole a fake diary. It's insanity. I mean that literally. There's a collective insanity. You can turn on the news and watch it.
Right.
What's going on at the border is an insanity.
Being normalized.
A political, cultural, it's a self-inflicted serious wound. These blue mayors and set up these sanctuary cities, and it came true, and it's destroying their cities.
Right.
Just as of course it would. Right. But they didn't give a fuck because they thought the damage was going to be limited to Arizona and Texas.
Did you see, speaking of a collective sin, did you see what happened with the DEI lady at Facebook?
Isn't that the DEI lady at CrossFit?
Different DEI lady. They have a DEI lady there too. They have in the HR department. They have a lady there.
There's not just one that goes to every country in the. Every company in the country.
She 4 million. I guarantee you these ladies know each other. That's for sure. Barbara Furlow Smiles, former head of Facebook DEI efforts. Yeah, for sure friends with the DEI lady at HQ. They call it something else now, the People's Department or something. Former head of Facebook DEI effort Barbara Furlow Smiles admits she embezzled $4 million from the company. Like, dude, you hired someone to be racist. Of course they're a fucking criminal and a crook. Like, you hired them purposely to be racist. Former top of diversity and equity inclusion manager at Facebook has pleaded guilty to embezzling millions from the social media company as part of a sprawling kickback scheme federal prosecutors announced this week. Hey, it shouldn't even be illegal because she's black. You know what I mean? Like, it should be like fall under like the DEI reparations thing.
Yeah, she took her reparations early.
Yeah. These are people, if you watch interviews with her and other of these DEI people, they call their crowning achievements their diversity hires, meaning that's code for I was really happy that I didn't hire the Jew and I hired the Palestinian. I was really happy that I hired the, you know.
They need to let her keep the money.
I agree.
Like the people that get free shit from the Apple Store.
Right. And they should also build her a bronze statue like they did for George Floyd in New York. She got one over on Zuckerberg, the ultimate white man. It's crazy, dude. Eaton Beaver. Good morning, Mr. Coach. I worked out today and I coached, and now I'm in between sauna time and shower sex.
Wow.
Is that
Right? Thanks for checking in.
Is that solo or the shower sex, or is that
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
I don't know. If it's solo, I think you mischaracterized itself. I don't want to call you a liar, but it's a little misleading. I'd like some clarification on that.
Maybe that's not the order in which it went down. He's just giving you the laundry list.
Right. Okay. That's okay. Okay. So it could be good morning, coach. Had shower sex, little sauna time, coached some people, and then I worked out myself. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. I wouldn't bet my life that it happened in that order. I mean, I think it did, but I'm not going to bet my life. That's go fair. All right. I think that guy might be one of the beavers is human resources guy. One of the guys who listens to the show, Greg, he's the head of HR at his company. And he took a picture of like his toaster or his coffee machine and he was naked in it. And he sent it to the staff and you could see his dong in it. He didn't even lose his job.
That was a
This
great
is
story.
an inadvertent reflection.
Yeah, inadvertent penis reflection. Yeah.
So you got to learn to do that. So it's you have a plausible deniability.
You would never believe that. Like if I sent you a picture of my toaster and you're like, Sevi, I could see your dong. I'd be like, oops, sorry. But you would be like, Maggie, he did that on purpose. Right?
That's correct.
I know.
My question is, why is he sending you a picture of a toaster? Blow it up. There's a reflection of his dick in it.
Why is his dick hard?
It's a really nice toaster.
Asymmetric ears. The real problem to overcome is cognitive dissonance. Well, I think that's a part of BSI is, which is kind of interesting. Have not heard. You could change it. Cognitive dissonance curing, CDC. Have not heard any ways to counter that. When you cannot agree the sky is blue, you have problems. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he's saying.
He's saying that you're trying to explain to someone that affirmative action is basically racism, and they cannot see it for what it is. Like they've been tricked by the words, right? They've been tricked by no, it's to the abortion thing is the same way, right? They refuse to see it as you can see it as okay. We can both see it as both ways. This is definitely about women's reproductive rights, and this is definitely about women's control over their body. But there's another facet that's about killing babies. And that one side can't see the killing babies part. And you're like, how do you not see that part? Like there's just a complete disconnect. They refuse to they can't see that affirmative action means that white people and Asian people don't get to go to college because brown people and black people do. They just see it as affirmative action. They can't see both sides, right? That's what I think of when I think of cognitive.
Here's what makes all of this complicated for us.
Yeah.
Is that the smartest of us aren't all capable of recognizing racism absent malice.
Racism, meaning someone would be racist, but they're not a bad person. They don't do
No,
it.
you're not trying to. You can be a racist and do things that damage blacks all the while trying to help them.
Right.
It's the fatal conceit. It's Hayek's fatal conceit. One facet of it. And this is the soft bigotry of low expectations.
Right.
At what point do the Dems have to just come to terms with their view, and it is their view, that blacks are inferior to whites and aren't going to make it without help?
Right. They're not. That's the dissonance. What does dissonance mean? Disconnect?
They have no chance without the handouts. There is no existence for them off of the plantation. That was the argument of the slaveholder. Do you know what would happen if we turned these people loose? They would starve to death. They don't even have the wherewithal to feed themselves. That's the current Democratic view. That was the slaveholders' view. Same Democrats.
Yeah. They had the slaves out of compassion. I was reading about that. Yep.
It's the same thing we're doing now.
And that the North was horrible because they wanted to kill the blacks by setting them free.
Yes. You probably have to believe shit like that to justify keeping someone in shackles on your property.
Have you seen?
I mean, someone should look into these guys that end up with middle school girls chained into their basement. Is their view that they're helping them? I bet it is.
Did you? We got another swimmer, by the way, who's now. The parents are saying that it's a 51-year-old male who's now showering with 13-year-old girls in Canada because he swims with the 13-year-old girls. I saw it on Rebel News. There's parents coming out who are parents are afraid to say anything. Well, for starters, pull your kid out of the swim program.
You know, when you talk to people about broken science or crumbling civilization, they don't know, you know, well, what are we going to do? What can you do? What can be done?
Yeah.
And I was realizing this morning that, like, on the broken science front, the phenomenon is more tsunami-like. And everyone's interest should be in saving their own ass, your family. Everyone's not going to make it.
Right.
And for anyone that has the means, need to adjust things at home in terms of economics and teach your kids from home. Everyone needs to pull their kids out of the government schools.
So this article is verifying that basically for 8 to 16-year-old girls, I think he's on the 13-year-old girls team. What's crazy is, hey, they let him swim on the 13-year-old girls team, Greg, and the masters team. It's
that
also so
Canada.
Makes what?
It makes sense in Canada.
Listen, go back the other way, Caleb. Listen to this. This is going to blow you away. It's all so confusing for the kids. No one is comfortable. Everyone is accepting of all people. Then swimming against our kids and being in the locker room with them is not appropriate. Hey, that's the thing. That's the big difference between me 20 years ago and me today. I used to say dumb shit like that. I love everyone and I accept everyone. No, that's a lie.
This is their logic.
We must comply with both provincial law. Oh, and this goes back to what we were talking about in the very beginning of the show, what Greg said about God, about that they accept the government as their God. We must comply with both provincial law and municipal policy, aligning with the human rights policy on preventing discrimination. Swim meets are normally conducted in a facility open to the public, and minors routinely share change room space with adults. But it's a fucking man and girls. But it's the law.
Think of how horrible the thing must be that can only be identified right now as with a plus.
You mean like you mean someone who identifies just as a plus?
No, like while we're all trying to deal with LGBTQ, someone's cooking up a new plus.
Right.
That's just a placeholder
BIA.
for you won't even believe what comes next. We don't even know what to call it yet.
Like gay people are hating this right now, just like so many black
Of course
people
they
hate it.
are.
They're hating this. Poor gay people. They get sucked up into some psycho shit.
This is not a good time for decent people.
No. Caller, hi. Hold on. I'm gonna have to reconnect you. Hold on, caller. Hold on. Of course, I have to reconnect you. Always got to reconnect. Hey, what's up, Jody? Hello. Hey. Hello. Jody.
Hey,
Hey, what's up?
Sevan, how
Hey,
are you?
what's up, girl? How are you?
I'm great. Coach, Caleb, hello.
Hey, Judy.
Hi, everybody.
Judy, you gonna join a boys swim team and start showering with 13-year-old boys?
Well, Judy might, but I'm Jody, and I'm not ever going to do that.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Thank you, Jody.
Jody, you know, we're all the same here, but
All the J words
yeah, I
are
would
the
pull
same.
I would pull my kids right out of that. It's infuriating.
Ask for your money back.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to call in and thank Coach for all of his time with us here. It's great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you, and Merry Christmas. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
And my favorite show was with Joe Westerlin, which I've listened to a couple times. It's great.
Oh, we'll get Joe back on then.
Yeah, I had a question for you, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
Wall sit, yes, no? From that show,
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I don't like it. What I want is you lower your center of mass as the human form collapses in the direction of the well-balanced squat. What I have is the sum of vector forces comes to zero. And so every piece moving forward, there's another moving back. I've got the hip going back and the knee going forward, and the sum of the forces is zero, and I end up with no shear force. When you do a hack squat or you do a wall sit and you trap the hip in that manner, you can feel that shear on the knees. You can actually feel it. Sit there. It might take you 5 seconds, 10, or it might take you a minute. But what you're feeling is that shear force on the knee, and I'm not a fan of it.
I'll tell you, a lot of people are pushing it at gyms and
It's
whatnot.
like,
But I agree with you. It doesn't feel good. So
nope. I want to be
and
able
also
to.
one more question.
Yeah.
If I don't have 100 feet to do a forward lunge, what would you recommend? A backward lunge in place?
If I step backwards and then use and step as far back as I can. So let's talk about the left leg going behind me, and I bring it way back so my toe is reached out there past anywhere I could put the foot flat, and I bring myself back up. I am using the posterior chain. The variant of this where you step forward and push back doesn't have that same quality in it. I mean eccentric in the positive in the posterior chain rather than
All right. Well, that's
concentric. And so the step back lunge.
So if I don't have
works.
space,
The
just
step
step
forward
backward.
doesn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I agree. And thank you so much for the answers. I appreciate that.
It's my pleasure. And I would have that step so far back. And the thing that places, in her case, her right or left, the thing that's placing that is this sense of where she has the best power to pull claw forward again. And maybe even to give a little cheater push. I'd have her reach back so far that wasn't possible. So my reach back, and I draw a line for it. I'd put a chalk mark for the forward foot in each case. and then another line behind her that had that leg extended and even the hip drop. I want to put the
Okay.
clawing, driving
right.
hip at as much a disadvantage as I can.
Yeah. Well, she is me because I'm solo. I work out solo.
You're doing a great job.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Listen, I am the cabinet gal in Connecticut, and somebody just walked in my showroom, so I'm going to let you all go.
They're
Thanks so
they're
much and
so
happy
lucky that
holidays.
they have you. They're so lucky that they have
Oh,
you.
you're
Make them
so
kiss your
sweet.
hand. Make them kiss your hand.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll catch
Thank
up with you guys soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jody.
Hey, Greg, you do tell me that once a week to be like, hey, I really like coming on the show. This is cool. But for some reason, I always feel like every time you come on, it's going to be the last time. Like you're going to at some point reach some tipping point and just be like, all right, that was the last one.
No, we even adjust the Wednesday school schedule for doing the Sevi show.
All right.
I just hope the kids aren't out in the other room listening.
Hope they're not listening.
They'll learn plenty during that time too.
They just might.
I know it's always crazy when I go out there and I realize my kids peep some of the show and they're like, what did you mean when you said this? I'm like, usually Haley listens to it in her ears.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's something in here I wanted to read to you. Okay. Okay. Here, let me get this one. I do want to bring up Trump because some people are freaked out, but I don't think there's anything to be freaked out about, and I'll tell you why. I'm Greg. I'm an OG here, Maximus. If the woke dweebs, fuck the woke dweebs. Glad you got paid. Hope you keep fighting.
Hey, Sevi, push Max my way. I might have my 15-year-old phone number might be older than when I talked to Max last.
Oh, you know who you recognize him?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Maximus, you can send me an email at sevanmatosian@gmail with your phone number, and I'll make sure I get it to Greg. Oh, there is a guy. I'll do this publicly, not privately. There is a guy who has reached out to me. Can you pull up that Instagram account? Caleb, can you read my mind and pull up that Instagram account? The one with the affiliate
Chief Nation?
No, it's called the Affiliate Collective. I think they've even taken the name that Greg one time brainstormed. This guy has reached out to me and he would like to speak with you, bounce some ideas off of you. Are you okay with me putting?
Yeah. I'll help the affiliates unionize. I lived in fear of that.
This is the CrossFit Affiliate Collective. This gentleman has reached out to me. And he has some ideas that are completely over the 67 IQ points that I have to understand. And he would like to speak with you about it. Seems like a really humble, cool dude who just wants to do the right thing.
Yeah, you and I should go on that. Do a little community round, a little town hall.
All right.
Hey, is anyone asking the mothership what's up with this licensure bill?
Not that I know of. I know that Don's doing a podcast. Is today Thursday?
Wednesday.
Oh, tomorrow he'll be live with a really good interviewer over at Coffee Pods and Wads. This guy Pedro White out of Ireland.
They got rid of Brett
Ewer,
huh?
Yeah, that guy was so fucking cool. Loved that guy.
I still do. He's still part of the Broken Science crew.
What a hard worker.
Wouldn't want to tackle occupational licensure without him. That's his space. That's his thing. Yeah,
so tomorrow it might be talked about here. Coffee Pods and Wads. This is tomorrow at in 28 hours, December 21st, 3 p.m. You're in Eastern time, Caleb?
I'm in Central.
Oh,
so
okay.
It'll be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, okay.
4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central.
Sevi, let's do one of these and get Joe on camera.
Another podcast with Westerland? Get Westerland back? Yeah, okay, that's good. I like that. We should do one with Burger sometime, too. People would love that
just as much.
Hey, so here's the deal. In Colorado, supposedly the Supreme Court in Colorado has taken, in a 4-3 vote, has taken Donald Trump off of the ballot.
Yeah.
It is going to go to the Supreme Court, and the reason for that they pulled him off the ballot is because of the someone who was involved in who led an insurrection can't run for president, and the three people who descended who voted to keep Donald Trump on the ballot were, interestingly enough, appointed by Democrats. And so even the Democrats know that this is complete horseshit. But what's crazy is there's been no due process convicting Trump of inciting an insurrection. And yet they pulled him off the ballot for that. It's absolutely fucking nuts.
The logic that they're going to have to go to the Supreme Court with is that it's the only way we can stop them. And the court is going to respond 9-zip. Yeah, like this is even too much for us. For the liberals on the bench.
What a mess.
That isn't going to last. That's not going to work. I believe it's Jack Smith or one of the investigations had actually internally had made the ruling internally, and by not charging that Trump hadn't led an insurrection.
You think this only helps him?
Yes.
Like people like me who are going to vote for him, it's like, okay, I need to make sure I make it to the ballot box.
Yes. Yeah. And in this sense, the left has nothing without their Trump hatred.
Yeah.
They don't want to run on their positions because they're wholly unpopular.
They're okay. They hate Trump more than they hate the fact of a 51-year-old man showering with their 13-year-old daughter. That's the part I can't understand. That's the part that breaks me every time. You hate this guy so much that you're willing to sacrifice your 13-year-old daughter to shower with a 51-year-old man, to normalize it.
Or get sniffed. Even that's weird.
Yeah. A backwards arrow, modern fitness. What a great show that we can go back and forth like this. Isometric holds only builds strength at that specific angle. There's no strength built throughout the range. Terrible shear force on the knees as well.
Yeah, I'm going to add something to your lumping of all isometric in there. The learning progression in gymnastics is eccentric, fast to eccentric, slow to eventually static, isometric for longer, and eventually you have concentric. And that's true whether it's a back lever, a front lever, a Maltese cross, a planche, any of them, any of the holds develop eccentric, fast and dangerous to eccentric, slow, to eventually slow enough for the static to be possible. The static can be held long enough to eventually the concentric is possible. So the early days of your iron cross, you're flying through it, falling. Then you fall slowly and more slowly and more slowly. And then eventually, without going too slow, you're able to rapidly go to the horizontal position, stop and hold. You're not going to ever pull out of a cross until you can hold it beyond the 2 seconds obligated and get out there in that 7 to 10 space. If you can hold it for 10, you can lower for 2 and pull out. And so the isometric is critical to that development in a natural setting. But I am in agreement that I don't like those sheer, and it's just the sum of the forces. The evidence of there being a problem is that the subject doesn't have balance, that you're propped up by the wall. That's all the evidence you need for the sum of the forces not being zero on the joints.
Isn't there a Tabata where you hold at the bottom?
I can take all of those exercises and have you go bottom to bottom. Yeah. So the resting point is at the bottom and you go up briefly and come back. That's a real crowd pleaser.
Maximus Lewin, Greg, You're the best trainer of all time. Sorry to people who think that having abs is the be all end all.
It's you know what? I've ridden this training thing. I've surfed it, and it's I'm still at it. And the work I'm currently doing feels to me like a very natural extension of it. Were it not for the experience that I've had legally, intellectually, and academically with CrossFit versus NSCA, and then the sudden retirement with the $200 million, I wouldn't be where I sit today, aware of what I'm aware of as the shortcomings of academic science and its failed inference scheme. You know, I mean, I'm grateful for all that's transpired.
It would be weird if you weren't. Good job. You're a healthy man. Anthony TPA, Greg, can you make Sevi fit at all? Games worthy fit with an 8-pack of Cali sex appeal. We can't have Caleb, the only good-looking one on the show.
You have to make me fit too, because I don't have an 8-pack.
Too old. Sevan's afraid to wrong the mothership until those behind-the-scenes checks are cashed.
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't know how much hard. I mean, I'd go pretty fucking hard. I don't think that's a fair characterization of me. I would love to cash the mothership behind the scenes checks. I love doing the behind the scenes. I don't want to fucking like do anything stupid, but man, I go fucking hard.
You know, for me, I want to see their business plan unroll. I'm not. If I seem harsh, I'm certainly holding back. But I want to.
Meaning that you have much more scathing things to say about the mothership than you've let out. That's what you mean by you're holding back?
Well, I don't want to state the obvious, and I want things to unfold.
Right.
And I you know, like when I saw this occupational licensure thing, my reaction wasn't, "Oh fuck, no, that's horrible." That wasn't my reaction. It would have been once upon a time.
Dale Saran, yes, we are scheduling Dale to come back on the show. It has been too long. Dang, Dale, look at you in that picture. That is not what Dale looks like. Dale is not that good looking.
I was just talking with him this morning, and I'm planning on bringing him out to Santa Cruz the week I come up there after Christmas.
Oh, so I'll get to
here
hang with
the first week of January when Emily comes out.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I want to rehearse some of this broken science stuff for March, and I could use a little bit of an audience.
Guys, when Dale comes on the show, we'll also get an update. For those of you who don't remember, Dale's been on the show 2, 3, 4 times, and he was heavily involved in leading the charge. He was the guy leading the charge when the soldiers were asked to take the anthrax vaccine, and he supported them and got them through that with legal action. And now I think he might be running the biggest class action lawsuit against the U.S. government on behalf of soldiers. I think he has over 1,000 clients for soldiers who had to deal with that bullshit. And from what I see in the news is he's kicking ass and winning.
It's looking good.
Yeah, I hope Dale gets rich as shit.
He is the vaccine attorney right now.
What'd you say? He is the vaccine attorney?
Yeah, and was our chief counsel for 15, 20 years with remarkable effect.
Yeah, Dale was the one putting the smackdown on people from CrossFit HQ. He's the one that had the big legal team. Jer Howell, abs are the byproduct. How tall is a pyramid? Only as wide as its base. Nutrition. Wow. Nice, Mr. Howell. I like that. Sevi's dog. Woof, Mr. Greg. All right. Little bark from the dog.
Hey, Sevi, you want that dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go on our website and pick the one?
Is that how you do it?
Yeah. Do you see the availability? Do you see the eyes on some of those?
Yeah, it's crazy. You should pick the one. Do you know how to pick one?
I would tell you, I like that. I like the one that had the tiny black eyes on the white face.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're cool as hell. We're talking about sheepadoodles.
I'll come out there in January when Dale and Emily are out there and get them.
Good, we'll fetch them.
Oh, that's a great dog.
Sheepadoodle?
Yeah.
Greg has one. It's fucking ridiculous. It's a straight
Really?
Muppet. Oh, dude, it's like living in a house with one of the Muppets, like one of the smart Muppets. It's so weird.
He'll come up, he'll get up on the couch and sit next to you and look at you until you look at him. Then he looks away. He looks at the TV. And so, like, you look up back at the TV and he looks at your face. You look at him, he looks away. It's fun. It's just, it's constant shit like that. He's a fucking trip. You put his head up low and just stare into your eyes.
That's
And
awesome.
you're doing an actual no blink contest with a dog.
Heidi thinks you're selling animals. Greg, do you have any cats for sale?
That's Heidi. Amazing. You asked. I have two, frankly. I'm listening to see if Maggie's listening.
Oh my goodness.
Maggie's fucking cat might be for sale.
If you don't mind, Great Pyrenees is amazing, incredibly loyal and gentle with kids.
Nah, you don't want one of those.
Here she is.
Oh, Maggie just came in the room. My
Did you
cat
hear
is.
about the cat?
No.
Heidi wanted to know if we had any cats for sale. I said, Maggie's fucking cat might be for sale. And then I said, I'm listening for it coming.
What about your fucking cat?
Floyd's great.
You have a cat named Floyd.
His name
Is he named after Mayweather or George?
Both. He got hit by a car and he came out fine.
Floyd did?
Broke his jaw.
Yeah, broke his jaw. He had to have it wired. He had to have a tooth pulled. He had road rash on his face. My cat got run over. My free cat.
This is the
Those are the best cats. Savage.
this is the last question, and then the show's over. Until tonight when we have Cara Saunders on. Okay, here we go. Daniel Garrity. Greg, does Sevan smell worse than your cats?
Oh my god.
Shut it, Maggie. Shut it. Shut it. Shut it.
It's let me give you the perspective
Oh,
that
fuck.
started.
I was really wishing you'd just pass on that question.
It started when someone I said in getting in my truck, I go, the cat's getting out of the truck. I go, the cat's been pissing in my fucking truck. And someone in the truck said, that's Sevan. And then another person goes, yeah, it's Sevi.
Oh no.
I don't know that the cat didn't piss on Sevi.
Right. Well, you got me to wash my hair. I've washed it like 4 times since you told me that I have that urine scent isn't working for
That
me.
was like a year ago.
Yeah, whatever. That's 4 more times. That's 4
All
more
good.
times. That's 4 more times than the previous. All right. I appreciate you guys. Greg, you the man.
Caleb, come on out when Sevi comes out in January.
Okay. Sounds
I'd
good.
love that.
That'd be great.
Love you, Greg. I'll talk to you soon.
You're the best. Love everyone.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Ciao, brother. Greg Glassman. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Wow. Last night I had a fucking meltdown in my house. Probably wasn't going to talk about this. And I just started throwing tons of shit away. Just fucking tirade, dude. Like angry. Like my kids have this this hockey set that, you know what I mean? Like a table where they hit a puck around and the air blows out from the bottom. You know what I mean? It's like a cheap version of one of those air hockey games. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
That thing, I just fucking took it from their fucking toy room and just threw it out in the driveway. I mean, just like I filled out, just went in the kitchen and just clearing, filling garbage bags full of just like little knickknacks and rocks and broken pieces of glass and just all that, just fucking going nuts, dude.
Okay. Yeah. I like it.
Just throwing everything away. Took all my Liver King pills, like probably like $400 in Liver King pills, threw them away. Just like, fuck you. You're not sitting on the counter anymore. just filling trash bags.
Yep, I like that.
Junk drawer gone.
Good.
There's
Yes.
75 batteries in there that are for remote control toys and every little individual charger. Garbage.
Nice.
Dude. And I did that for 2 hours. I was angry. I had a little kershuffle with the missus. Yeah.
That's when you start arranging things, right?
Yeah, I'm just like,
yeah, you get
complete
frustrated.
fucking meltdown. Like one of those things where she's asleep in bed and like she's closed the bedroom door. So like she doesn't hear like just the carnage that's going on.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, so she just sent me a text. She goes, "Hey, it's cool that you cleaned up, but you threw away the little Buddha, the little wooden Buddha that was handmade by Tissero. That was Fitness Lonnie." I remember seeing that thing too. Being like, "Fuck you, you're dead too."
No.
I threw away. But then she said, "Anicca," meaning this too will pass. Meaning, well, that's a good lesson for us. You threw away the fucking heart hand-carved Buddha.
Damn.
Jesus. Yeah, not the Buddha. Yep, he went in the trash. Yep. Throw everything away. Hey, listen, there's this stuffed animal that my kids, right as I was like calming down, like running a little wind out of my sail.
Yeah.
There's this stuffed animal my kids have. And I took it and I went to go throw it in the garbage. And there was a zipper in the back. And I was like, oh, that's weird. There's like something back here. And I unzipped the zipper of the stuffed animal. And the stuffed animal has a place where you put little baby stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And it was full in there.
Oh.
Yeah, so I zipped it back shut. It didn't throw it outside. I just threw it in the garage.
Okay.
So now they'll go out to the garage and they'll see it and they'll know like that guy was close. They'll probably bring him back
Right.
inside.
They're like, oh, thank God, saved him.
Yeah.
Dad has a heart.
Please tell me the chocolate dildo wasn't thrown out. No, the dildo. The black cock is still here. Tupac. Did you ever see the Tupac someone sent me?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it like a bobblehead or is it just a figurine?
You guys should always be sending me stuff. I need more mail. My wife loves stuff. Now listen, just so you know, it wasn't me. It was because my wife said there was too much shit in our house. It wasn't like I was like, "Fuck you, bitch, I'm throwing out shit." She was like, "Fuck you, bitch, you got too much shit in here."
Yeah.
I cleaned out a whole shelf of I just have like so much like little camping headlamps or like just stuff people have given me or pocket knives. There's just shit just everywhere, right? Just like little things.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, you think I got too much shit? I'll show you.
It's such a good feeling though when you throw all that stuff away. We
Felt
did that before
great.
we moved, and then we did that again when we got here because we had to go through all of our stuff in the shed again. I kept a couple things, but for the most part, probably 95% of the stuff that was in here was thrown away.
Yeah. No, I'm not blaming the wife. I ain't blaming the wife. Christian Young, I hate it when my husband does that crap. Oh, it just has just a fucking. I do have an extra motorcycle. I need to sell my motorcycle. How much should I
pick it up?
How much should I sell my Slim for? My Harley. It's a 117, like 2016 Slim. I think I thought I could only get like 5,000 for it. And I looked online and it's like, there's ones there for $13,000 that aren't even close to as nice as mine.
What'd you say? 2016 Slim?
Yeah. And it has a 117 in it. I don't know if that you can see that. Anyway, that's my life. Hey, I'm going to show you a little video here.
Okay.
This is a police officer who I believe has been called to a restaurant where someone's sitting on the patio screaming.
A disturbance. Public disturbance, if you will.
Yeah. Like a drug addict just losing their shit on the patio.
Okay.
So here's the cop walking up to the scene. Ready?
Here they go.
So you can hear the guy screaming, the crazy guy.
Oh, is that right?
How's it going, sir? How are you? Oh,
Hell yeah.
I think that's fair. I think that's legit.
Absolutely.
Charging right at a cop like that.
That's it.
That's a nice German Shepherd,
Yeah.
right? Just a quick double leg.
Yeah. She did not come at any she did not come over calmly.
No. You think that was a she
Here they go.
Yeah, I think it was a she.
because you saw titties or hair or
A walk.
oh.
Watch her walk over with her hands.
You think
The
that guy
voice, too.
you think that guy wrestled in high school?
Yeah.
how's it going, sir? How are you?
Damn. Full mount.
Double leg takedown. Straight to full mount. Lock the arms up.
That's it.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Damn. What is this comment here? So the next time you need help from an officer and you go up to him calm and say, "How are you?" and he slams you on the floor of the sidewalk, that's not over dramatic, then what is? And to say
What?
she should have been shot, people have mental health issues, not the ones who is faking it for a check either. Jesus. I
Maybe
can't
you
believe
shouldn't
Americans are perfectly fine with this. It's mind-blowing. Their society is a big piece of garbage. No wonder why they love their army and always looking for the next war. Damn. Let me see this dude, where he lives.
Pussy punk. I read this comment too. That was great. Pussy punk.
You're a fucking cat guy.
What a shitbag. At least his profile is public.
It's weird. I guess people want to think that police officers, like, you shouldn't run up on anyone like that, but especially a police officer.
The police officer was probably told, "Hey, there's somebody creating a disturbance at a restaurant."
Yeah.
They're not going to go in there thinking, "Oh, somebody's going to just come out and have a conversation with me." The person's obviously pissed or annoyed, or their emotions are high.
Hey, I wish they would do that to every one of those fuckers who goes into a Nordstrom's and steals. Just pick them up and slam them on the ground.
Yeah, and that's probably the most civil way to address it.
And
That
this guy's
person-
an alcoholic, by the way.
Your whole Instagram is filled with beer. Congratulations, buddy. He went up so calmly too. Like, oh,
Looks like a Biden supporter was approaching the police officer.
He even had his notebook in his hand. He was like, "Okay, it's cool." He's like, I wonder if he knew her, like had history with her. Like I've had multiple calls with this person, and a serial offender, if you will. And then he's like, "I'm not fucking around with this time."
This is what we call in the real world, fuck around and find out. Don't bum rush police officers.
Yeah. What else are you going to do if somebody, it could be anybody. If you're a normal person, you don't even have to be a cop. If you're a normal person and somebody walks up to you like that and they're yelling, saying pissed off shit, what are you going to do?
It's obvious that most lefties have never been in a violent altercation. It's very easy to read body language and aggression. That person had bad intentions, and cops have to control situations. You can't allow an unhinged person to dictate how the scenario plays out. You have to match and exceed their aggression to take control of the scene, and news alert peaceful words don't get that done. This cop's actions were completely justified and warranted. He handled the situation perfectly and de-escalated the situation instantly. Come work one day in the streets, and you'll realize how crazy people are.
Exactly.
How did he get... I'd like to acknowledge the well-behaved shepherd walking so well on a leash. Yeah, that was
just
great dog.
Undeterred.
Is this W cops mean a win for the cops?
Yeah, win cop. Win for the cop. Yeah, you went from side control to full mount. So smooth. That was beautiful. This dude, the German Shepherd, is just chilling.
Listen, this guy belonged. Wow, Jesus criminy. Everyone's allowed on the internet. So today we learned about Christianity and the smell, my odor. I appreciate it. Can you read that, Sevi? Oh, stop. All right. This evening, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Cara Saunders. She gave birth live on the internet. Crazy. Sevi, Caleb, did you guys watch Taking Care of Maya? What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I have to send Taking Care of Maya, 2023 documentary. Oh, what is this?
It's on Netflix.
10-year-old Maya Kowalski with a rare illness. They begin to question her parents. Suddenly, Maya is in a state of custody. In November, a jury awarded Kowalski family more than $260 million in damages after finding the John Hopkins something and another, I think, HAC has falsely imprisoned Maya, fraudulently billed her family, caused them severe emotional distress, and that social worker Catherine Betty had battered Maya, and Dr. Sally Smith medically neglected her. Attorneys for John Hopkins All Children's Hospital have since filed several motions alleging juror misconduct and bias. Their most recent motion, filed just last week, accuses a juror of being prejudiced against John Hopkins and witness. The defense team says that the juror used a Nazi symbol in his notes when referring to Smith. John Hopkins' attorney says he spelled her name with a sharply shaped S like those used by the Nazis. The Nazi. So what is a juror? You can't call someone a Nazi? Damn. I haven't seen this.
Looks like it just came out. Or I guess June of this year.
260 million. Time to move to Scottsdale. What's this thing? Oh, you can't see it. I'll click it. What is this? 23 hottest schools gadgets for. Oh my goodness. Light socket security camera.
You don't have one of those?
No.
Just kidding. I don't have one either.
Wow, a Sonoshi power spin wall scrubber. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Do they have those on Amazon? A wall scrubber. I need that for my mats. Jesus. Sonoshi are the biggest. They have these on Amazon? Do you know what a Sonoshi scrubber is?
No, I've never heard of it.
All right, that's it. Thank you, everyone. Time to do some shopping on Amazon. See you tonight. Are you going to be around tonight? It's kind of late for you.
I think so.
All right. Should be a fun show. Low stress. Easy. Chill.
For sure.
You want to see what a Sonoshi scrubber looks like?
I just pulled it up. That's nice.
Yeah, it does look nice, right?
Yeah. Like
Use
that.
one of those at the Shadigan. I'm surprised they don't have more stars.
Only 4.1.
I could use that on my kids' jiu-jitsu mats. They're filthy. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.